There is one structure that has stood for 4,500 years, built with tools you could find in a garden shed, to a precision modern engineers still can't fully explain. How? This is the mystery of the Great Pyramid. 2.3 million blocks of stone, some weighing as much as 9 elephants, stacked with a precision so exact that for centuries, people refused to believe humans built it at all. No steel, no wheels strong enough for the job, no engines, just copper chisels, wooden sledges, rope, and roughly 20 years to get it right. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the last surviving wonder of the ancient world. And even now, in an age of satellites and supercomputers, we are still uncovering exactly how it was done. By the end of this video, you'll know the leading theory, but you'll also understand why, even today, it still doesn't answer everything. Let's start with the numbers, because they still don't fully make sense. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built around 2560 BCE for the pharaoh Khufu. It stood 146 meters tall, the tallest structure on Earth for nearly 3,800 years, a record unbroken until the 19th century. It contains an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, most weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons. Some of the granite blocks deep inside weigh as much as 80 tons, heavier than a fully loaded freight truck. And here's the number that stops most engineers cold. The base of the pyramid is level to within just 2.1 centimeters across its entire 230-meter length. Its sides are aligned to true north with an accuracy of a fraction of a degree, more precise than many buildings constructed today. Ancient historians were just as baffled as we are. The Greek historian Herodotus visited Egypt 2,000 years after the pyramid was built, and even then, the details of its construction were already treated as legend. So the question isn't whether the pyramid is impressive. The question every generation keeps asking is simply, how? For centuries, one myth dominated every conversation about the pyramids: that they were built by enslaved people, forced under the whip to die in the desert by the thousands. Modern archaeology tells a very different story. In the 1990s, archaeologists Mark Lehner and Zahi Hawass uncovered an entire lost city just south of the pyramids. Bakeries, breweries, dormitories, and medical facilities capable of treating broken bones. This wasn't a slave camp. It was a purpose-built town for a rotating workforce. Evidence suggests the pyramid was built primarily by paid laborers and skilled craftsmen, working in organized shifts, alongside a permanent core of engineers, surveyors, and artisans. Nearby cemeteries hold the remains of these workers, buried with honor close to the monument they helped raise, not the treatment history reserves for slaves. Some of these workers likely came from farming communities, arriving during the Nile's flood season, when their fields were underwater and their labor could be redirected toward the pharaoh's monument in exchange for food, housing, and status. It's a far less sensational story than the one Hollywood tells, but in some ways, it's more impressive. An entire nation organizing itself, generation after generation, around a single, unfinished goal. Knowing who built it only deepens the real mystery. How did they move stones this massive, this far, without a single wheel strong enough for the job? Most of the pyramid's core blocks were quarried right on the Giza plateau itself, but the finer white limestone casing came from Tura, across the Nile, and the massive granite blocks lining the internal chambers were hauled over 800 kilometers from Aswan. The river solved half the problem. In 2013, archaeologists discovered the diary of an official named Merer, describing how workers used wooden boats to float limestone blocks down the Nile to Giza. Direct, first-hand evidence that has finally confirmed details historians could only theorize about for centuries. But once the stones reached shore, the real challenge began. How do you lift a 2.5-ton block, layer after layer, all the way to 146 meters in the air? The leading theory involves massive ramps, built from mud brick, limestone chips, and gypsum, possibly wrapped around the pyramid's exterior or extending outward in a long, gradually rising incline. Teams of workers, using wooden sledges and lubricating the sand ahead of them with water, could haul enormous weights with far less friction than you might expect. In 2018, archaeologists in a limestone quarry called Hatnub found something remarkable: a steep ramp flanked by staircases and a series of post holes, suggesting workers used a pulley-like system with ropes to haul blocks upward at a much steeper angle than anyone had proposed before. There likely wasn't one single method. Different ramps, different techniques, refined and adapted as the pyramid rose higher and the old approaches stopped working. Moving the stones is only half the puzzle. Placing them with this kind of accuracy is the part that still leaves engineers uneasy. The four sides of the Great Pyramid are aligned to true north, south, east, and west, with an average error of just 3/60ths of a degree. To achieve this without modern instruments, ancient surveyors likely used the stars to track the rising and setting points of specific circumpolar stars to triangulate true north with such startling accuracy. The internal chambers and passageways of the pyramid are angled with equal precision, some aligned toward specific stars that would have held deep religious significance, including Orion's belt, associated with the god Osiris, and the northern circumpolar stars, believed to represent eternal, undying kingship. Leveling the base across such a massive footprint likely relied on a network of water-filled channels, using water's natural ability to find a perfectly flat surface. A simple, elegant solution requiring no electronics at all, just a deep understanding of physics. None of this required alien technology or lost super science. It required something almost more impressive. Generations of Egyptian mathematicians, astronomers, and surveyors, refining their methods over centuries until they turned raw observation into near-perfect engineering. Of course, you cannot tell this story without addressing the theories that refuse to go away. That the pyramid was too advanced to be built by ancient humans at all. That it must have been aliens. Or refugees from a lost, highly advanced civilization like Atlantis. It's easy to see the appeal. The scale is staggering. The precision feels almost unnatural. And the idea of a hidden, forgotten history is undeniably thrilling. But when researchers actually dig into the evidence, a different picture consistently emerges. We've found the quarries where the stone came from, complete with abandoned tools and unfinished blocks. We've found the ramps, the workers' town, the diaries of the men who moved the stone. We've also found earlier, less refined pyramids, like the Bent Pyramid and the Pyramid of Meidum, that show Egyptian builders visibly learning from mistakes, decades before Khufu's pyramid was ever built. That is the detail that mainstream Egyptology keeps coming back to. This wasn't a sudden, inexplicable leap. It was the final result of roughly a century of trial, error, and refinement, each pyramid built slightly better than the last. None of that makes the achievement less extraordinary. If anything, it means the truth is more remarkable than the myth. Not that ancient humans needed help from beyond the stars, but that they did not need it at all. Here's what makes this story remarkable. We are still actively uncovering new answers, right now, using technology the pyramid's builders could never have imagined. In 2017, the Scan Pyramids project used a technique called muon tomography, which detects subatomic particles raining down from space and discovered a massive hidden void deep inside the Great Pyramid, above the Grand Gallery. It's roughly the size of a passenger airplane, and to this day, No one knows for certain what it was built for. In 2023, researchers used the same non-invasive scanning methods to identify a previously unknown corridor near the pyramid's original entrance, which was later confirmed with a tiny endoscopic camera threaded through a small gap in the stone. Think about that. A monument older than the wheel's widespread use in Egypt itself is still yielding secrets to 21st century particle physics. Every new discovery doesn't close the mystery. It reopens it, reminding us that even after a century of serious archaeology, the Great Pyramid still has chapters left to tell. 4,500 years later, the Great Pyramid is still the most studied, most argued about structure on Earth. Not because we don't understand ancient Egypt, or because we understand it far better than any generation before us, but because the pyramid represents something almost impossible to fully capture. The exact moment a civilization decided that some ideas are worth building for eternity. No single genius built the Great Pyramid. No single miracle explains it. It was surveyors reading the stars, farmers hauling stone during flood season, craftsmen refining chisel techniques passed down from their fathers, and a pharaoh willing to commit an entire nation's resources to an idea that wouldn't be finished in his lifetime. That's the real mystery worth remembering. Not how they moved the stones, but why an entire civilization believed the effort was worth it. Empires have risen and collapsed since the last stone was placed atop this pyramid. Languages have died. Entire religions have come and gone. And still, it stands. We may never recover every detail of exactly how it was built, but maybe that's part of why it still captivates us. It's proof that ordinary human effort that's organized, patient, and sustained across generations can create something that outlasts every empire that follows it. The pyramid didn't need magic. It needed people who believed the work was worth finishing, even knowing they might never see the final stone laid. 4,500 years later, we're still trying to be worthy of that same kind of patience. This is the story of the Great Pyramid. Not a myth, not a miracle. A monument raised by human hands, human patience, and human belief. One that still holds secrets we haven't unlocked, and still, after all these centuries, continues to beguile us. Like and share the video if you love the grandeur of Giza, and for more documentaries on history, mystery, story, psychology, and truth, follow our channel Meridian Docs.